Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the 2022 LACNETS Neuroendocrine Tumor Patient Conference presented by LACNETS. This year's conference theme is empowering you to make NET decisions. I'm Lindsey Judovine, the Director of Communications for LACNETS, and this is...
I'm Lisa Yen. I'm the Director of Programs and Outreach for LACNETS.
Before we get started, we have a list of people to thank today. Thank you to Rich at TVP Live, the tech genius behind all of this. We'd also like to extend a special thank you to all the physicians, presenters, and patients who are participating today. We would like to thank our sponsors who made today possible. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Advanced Accelerator Applications. Thank you to our gold sponsors, Lantheus and Raise Bio. And thank you to our silver sponsors, Ipsen, Crinetics, and Tercera. I'd like to remind all participants of the opportunity to speak with and virtually visit the 6 participating pharmaceutical companies today. Each has their own virtual sponsor page found on the LACNETS conference page. We want to remind our viewers that these webinars and conferences are done for educational purposes only and do not substitute for medical advice. Please talk to your medical team if you have any questions or concerns about your individual care or treatment. We all have our own opinions, and these are our own opinions. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of LACNETS. Be sure you're following us on social media to stay up to date on upcoming events and NET news. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram with the handle @LACNETS. As a reminder, our annual conference is being recorded and can be viewed on our YouTube channel shortly after the live broadcast. And if you haven't checked out the LACNETS YouTube channel yet, our channel consists of a video library of more than 200 NET videos on a wide range of NET topics not covered in today's conference. And now I'll pass it off to you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lindsey. LACNETS is a program by Generate Possibility, a registered nonprofit. LACNETS stands for the Los Angeles Carcinoid Neuroendocrine Tumor Society. Our mission is to provide education, advocacy, and support for all people impacted by this uncommon disease that used to be known as carcinoid, an old term meaning cancer-like. The more accurate term is neuroendocrine tumor, or NET for short. You'll often hear us say neuroendocrine cancer because it's a patient-friendly way to say the official medical term neuroendocrine neoplasm. We also use the phrase neuroendocrine cancer because we understand NET is a type of cancer and not cancer-like or benign as previously thought. LACNETS was founded in 2012 by jazz musician and composer Giovanna Joyce Mbesi, who lived richly and fully with metastatic neuroendocrine cancer for 14 years until succumbing to her disease in November 2019. After she was diagnosed with NET, she pursued an MBA for the sole intent and purpose of launching a NET patient advocacy group in Los Angeles. I had the privilege of caring for Giovanna during her final days, during which she said, with great pride, that she felt her greatest legacy was founding and building LACNETS. Giovanna was especially proud of NET Vitals, a tool that she and I created along with Dr. Dan Lee from City of Hope to empower patients and improve the communication between patients and physicians. Giovanna's hope was to help as many people as possible learn to thrive while living with neuroendocrine cancer. And we, the LACNETS team, are deeply committed to carrying on Giovanna's torch. LACNETS is in fact led by a team. And while you often see Lindsey and I leading the meetings and programs, we are in fact led by a team including Executive Director Kavya Velakapudi, Board Member Donna Gavin, who's also the sister of LACNETS founder and Executive Director Emeritus Giovanna Joyce Mbesi. And our board also includes Mary Dunleavy, who has been living and thriving with NET for over 17 years. We are pleased to announce the creation of our Medical Advisory Council, which includes some of our closest advisors, supporters, and friends over many years. Our Medical Advisory Council includes medical oncologist and endocrinologist Dr. Heidi Del Rivero from the National Institute of Health, medical oncologist Dr. Randy Hecht from UCLA, medical oncologist Dr. Andrew Hendefar from Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and medical oncologist Dr. Dan Lee from City of Hope. We are deeply grateful for their support. LACNETS is not just a team, we are also a community, a collaborative community of NET experts, those living with neuroendocrine cancer, meaning patients, and family, friends, and loved ones who support NET patients, meaning caregivers. And we collaborate with local and national NET centers and organizations, as you can see by our diverse presenters from a variety of institutions across North America. LACNETS aims to build and strengthen connections among those in the NET community because we know we are stronger together. This year's conference theme is empowering you to make NET decisions. We make a lot of decisions because of NET. Decisions about doctors, scans, medications, treatments, and insurance. There's decisions about what foods to eat and which foods to avoid. There's decisions about how we choose to spend our time and energy. The pressure to make these decisions can leave us feeling overwhelmed and anxious and exhausted. It's hard to live with so much uncertainty, and we want you to know that you are not alone. We hope today's conference will be educational so you feel better prepared to make informed decisions. And we hope you leave today feeling empowered to make those decisions. Today you will hear a lot of information. It might feel overwhelming, but rest assured it is being recorded and can be watched again on our LACNETS YouTube channel. While we try to cover a broad variety of topics, today's agenda is by no means comprehensive. We recognize the needs of special populations such as lung NETs, high-grade NETs, and parapheo, and so we dedicate special webinars focused on these complex topics. Check out our YouTube channel for our recent high-grade and parapheo webinars from earlier this year and for past presentations on lung NETs. Our upcoming August webinar will also focus solely on lung NETs. LACNETS offers a wide range of programs. Many of you are already aware about our educational programs, which includes our annual conference, monthly webinars, monthly podcasts, and educational blog posts. While we believe education is an important part of being empowered to make NET decisions, empowerment also requires self-awareness and confidence. And this is where support groups come in. There is so much value in connecting and networking with others living with NET. Many of you have already found it's easy to join educational programs offered virtually, regardless of where you live. It's also easier to join a support group since many support groups are meeting virtually and you don't have to worry about things like driving time, traffic, or finding the nearest restroom. There are many support groups out there, locally and nationally, and you don't have to live in the local area to join a virtual support group. If you need help getting connected, feel free to reach out to us and we can help. We recognize that you are more than your disease, and we aim to support you as a whole person. And to that end, we also offer wellness programs, including our virtual NET wellness retreat that takes place twice a year, individual health and wellness coaching, as well as our buddy program called NET Connect. Find out more on our website, lacnets.org. We at LACNETS care about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and we believe that all who live with NET deserve care and treatment and support, regardless of age, gender, sexual orientation, race and ethnicity, or socioeconomic status. And so we want to bridge gaps and help improve access to NET education, advocacy, and support. We offer all our programs free of charge, and all of our programs will continue virtually for the foreseeable future. We have already confirmed our monthly webinar speakers through the rest of 2022. Bridging gaps and improving diversity is a passion of mine. You may or may not know that I am also from an immigrant family. English was not my first language, and I was in ESL classes for several years. I grew up self-conscious about my own language skills and watched my parents struggle with barriers due to language. And even now, I still do a lot of translating and navigating for them. Many of you are aware that we launched the first NET programs in Spanish last year that includes NET educational presentations and patient and caregiver stories. We continue our ongoing efforts to build our Spanish educational content. You can find our Spanish materials on our website at www.lacnets.org/Spanish resources. These may be for you in your own heart language, or you may want to share them with your loved ones so they can better understand what you're going through and support you. Just a disclaimer that the LACNETS team is not proficient in Spanish, so unfortunately, Lindsey and I are not able to converse fluently or respond to emails in Spanish. However, our NET Connect mentor, Michelle, and our Medical Advisory Council physician, Dr. Del Rivero, are both available to help. Now I'd like to introduce some very special people. Thanks to the pandemic, this is our third virtual annual conference. The virtual world has allowed us to invite speakers from across the country to join us in our own homes. Joining me again today as co-hosts and co-moderators are four special people in our LACNETS family. Two NET patients who have been active in LACNETS for many years and are part of our Net Connect Buddy mentorship program, Beth DeBlaze and Mary Dunleavy. We also have two NET experts who have hosted pre-pandemic in-person meetings and conferences and have been longtime supporters and friends. Dr. Andrew Handafar, Director of the Neuroendocrine Program at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, and Dr. Dan Lee, Medical Director of the Neuroendocrine Program at City of Hope in Duarte, California. They will all be sharing their thoughts and perspectives about the topics we're going to discuss today. I'd like to now welcome them into our studio.